Hello, welcome back. Today is time to solve another puzzle. And today's puzzle is the level 2 Hanayama Horse puzzle. And the aim of the game with this one is probably more simple to say than it is actually to do. We have to separate that one horseshoe shaped thing from the other two connected horseshoe things. So as always, we are going to aim to do just that, to separate that horseshoe. Then we are going to try and reassemble it back into its original fully connected position. And then once we've done that, we will then place it on the leaderboard. Easiest puzzles here, we progressively get harder until we get to the hardest puzzle that we've done so far up in that corner there. So let's get straight into trying to solve the horse puzzle. Okay, so here is the horse puzzle, and I said this with a lot of puzzles. I've said it quite recently on a few puzzles that we've done. The size has surprised me. This is a lot bigger than I expected. This is, well, massive to be honest. I expected much smaller than this, and yeah, there's not much to say about this one. We'll have a quick look at what it says on the box. There's always a clue of some sort on here, or usually is. So back in America's Wild West, horses were the sole mode of transportation. In those days, cowboys had to do whatever they could to keep their horses from being stolen. It is said that one cowboy had the idea of rigging horseshoes up to work as a lock. So as the story goes, that was the starting point for this puzzle. Don't just use your head, you've got to wrangle with this one to solve it. Supervised by Nob Yashigahara. So, yeah, as well, and on the box, obviously, we've got to separate this middle horseshoe from the other two horseshoes in this position. And I have a feeling that I know how to solve this one. Not because I've seen this specific one before, but I have a feeling that I have gotten in the past a much smaller version of this puzzle, and obviously not by Hanayama, in like a Christmas cracker. The ones that you pull and you get something out of. I am 100% certain that I've seen this exact puzzle before. And I think I remember the solution, which is goes something like this. So there's a twist in there into this position here, and that is how we separate this horseshoe from these two horseshoes. And that's probably a record. I'm not going to class it as cheating for this one because I've not specifically solved this one or this Hanayama version. But yeah, I've seen this puzzle before, or I've got it in like a Christmas cracker, and it's all about the twist. So it's something like we start here, and as we twist around, that can then, or maybe it has to be on opposite sides. Can't do it, I've just done it quite easily. Now I'm struggling. It's all in the twist. And that's not as clean. I need to get a bit of practice. When I'm talking about knowing how to solve this one, I mean I'm talking years ago. So that's it. So we get it on the chain, we cross these over, and we solve it just like that. There we go. Bonus in this video, solve it twice, put it back together twice, job done. Now all we need to do is place it on the leaderboard, but that's going to be a difficult task. So yeah, I'll have a good think about how we're going to do that, and then yeah, let's place it on the leaderboard. So there it is. That was probably much quicker than you expected. It wasn't quicker than I expected. I knew going into this one that I had seen it before. As I said, I'm fairly certain it's from like a Christmas cracker. Off the top of my head, I feel like a difference is with this one, the piece that you're trying to separate from the middle is also horseshoe shaped. I think the one that I've seen before, again, it was a tiny sort of miniature version, but I feel like it was just a ring that you had to separate from those two horseshoe bits connected by the chain. And usually in these videos, the hard parts are separating it and then reassembling each puzzle. And the easy part is then placing it on the leaderboard, but this time round it's probably the other way around. It's the easy part was separating it and then putting it back together, and the hard part is now going to be placing it on the leaderboard, because this is the only real puzzle that I've known pretty much exactly how to solve before going into it, before we actually solve it. Now, I did think to start with that I might just place it on the leaderboard based on how hard I think it would have been, if that makes sense, without knowing, but that'd be a little bit disingenuous. Plus, I mean, this leaderboard is my difficulty ranking, how hard I found each puzzle to solve, rather than how hard I think other people will find these puzzles to solve, if that makes sense. What I'm not going to do there is, it's not going to sit right at the bottom. Like the loop and the diamond puzzle are they're still the two easiest ones. I am playing around with whether the horse is harder or easier than the flag puzzle. If we skip ahead, we're definitely not harder than the hook, which we solved recently. We're not harder than the ABC, which was also fairly recently. The hashtag, the harmony, we're sort of around that level, I think. I mean, the hashtag's at a level 3, we solved that fairly straightforwardly. I think the only real question we've got is whether it's easier or harder than the harmony puzzle. And it took me an almost embarrassingly long amount of time to figure out how the harmony puzzle solved. So I think for that reason, we're going to go below the harmony puzzle, but we're going to stay above the level 1 flag puzzle. So there we go. It might be a touch disingenuous in terms of that placing where it is based on what we've just discussed. But yeah, as I said, it is how difficult I found all these puzzles to solve rather than how difficult I think other people will find them to solve. And that's it for today. Fairly short and sharp. I tried padding it out a little bit by reading the box on the back and babbling on a little bit like I am now, but we've disassembled it, we've assembled it, we've placed it on the leaderboard, and there we go. And if you want to see me solve more of these Hanayama puzzles, all of which I did not know the solution to going into it, or any of the future ones that we solve, which as I'm aware of right now, I also don't know how to solve those ones going into them. And then we also do the step-by-step solutions to each and every one of the ones that we've solved. And if you want to see all those, then click on my face here to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Peace!